So I said, oh, auntie, how are you? She said, wait, what is it? Why haven't you given us a grandchild till now? This is how many years? 3 years. Why you see, is it that you don't know how to sleep with your husband? If you don't know,
lie.
Her words exactly.
What the fuck?
Her words exactly. She said, if you don't know how to sleep with your husband, call me this evening. I will tell you how to sleep with your husband so you can get pregnant.
So maybe this thing I just said now about stupid questions, inappropriate questions, reminds me of one really, really stupid question, that upsets both of us. That womb watcher. When we went to the parents' house, and then we were in the living room having a good time, everybody was laughing, gisting, and then some distant relative that nobody sent her message, okay, maybe I'm fast forwarding. So we're in the parlor, we're having a good time, everybody's gisting. I couldn't say argument, but I thought, okay, maybe she went back and everything. So I was no problem. And then I get a call, I see it's her. I asked her, I said, what's going on? She's crying. And she's really agitated. She's, I need to come and take me home now. I'm like, hey, I am the mountain. So I get up. I look for her. I said, where are you? She said she's outside on the street. So I go. And she's like, take me home. Let's go. Like, what's going on? And then she's crying. And I'm like, tell me what's happened. And then she says that some can't cuss on camera woman who would marry to my father's cousin.
Your family, your extended, a member of your extended family, yeah.
Goes to her and says, you've been married for a year.
Yeah.
At that point, that why haven't you given the family a child?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? I was so upset. And then she holds me and says that I should leave her. Let's just go home. And I'm like, nope.
So she knows your temper.
I'm getting better. I'm better. I think I'm better with my temper.
Yeah.
So as she's holding me, I push her away. Person is crying. I push her away. I storm into the house.
Well, you didn't push me. Don't say push me like
I extricated myself.
Yeah.
And I go to the house. But in front of everybody. Her husband is there, my parents are there. I think like 2 other relatives are there. I told her, that thing you told my wife, don't try it again. Don't ever say it again. You must tell her. No. I told her, don't ever say it again. Ever.
She now start dramatizing, crying. Didn't mean it,
Like, everybody was shocked. The conversation just stopped. And then my mom is like looking at me. And I was so agitated. I didn't want to look at her because I knew that just looking at me, she could pacify me. So I said my piece. Don't try.
But me, I couldn't pacify you.
You're still outside. No. I had to.
I followed you
because
no, you did the right thing. You did the right thing.
You came from nowhere, and even we've had children now. This woman has not asked about these children that she was clamoring for since we had the children. So all the 6 days that we've had going to school, the children's needs, nothing but you are agitating for there to be child so that you come and do what? Come for party and interest. But so I gave her the warning. I turned around. I didn't say a word to anybody. I entered the car. We entered the car. We go home. End of party for us.
And I think that's the thing, right? She didn't really care about having children.
She didn't care about the child.
I think she was just trying to, and that, I don't know. I think she's just a naturally nosy person. And I think maybe she also didn't like me and she was trying to break. I don't know what her motive was. I don't want to guess.
Yeah.
But it's not like when we finally got pregnant with our first child. It's not as if when we had our baby, she called to say, oh, congratulations. Oh, finally, I'm so happy that's happened for you. It's not like she really cared. No, because if you're asking, it's not right to ever ask a woman, when are you having kids? Why haven't you had kids? It's never right. But if for any reason you ask, if you're asking from a place of genuine concern, maybe in the moment it might not look, it can show up later in future in the way you behave. He never congratulated me.
No,
and it's
I
not-
think it's wrong in any
he
case.
didn't-
Because
he's
you
wrong
guys,
to
I
us.
didn't
No,
ask anybody.
there was never any
I don't
genuine
ask you guys
concern.
about
Yeah.
Wrong.
children.
I've never asked you.
I never ask you about your marriage, anything, because it's not my business.
Of course.
Yeah.
If you come to me and say, "Oh, we're having a baby, or we've had a baby, or we're traveling abroad," I would
Congratulations.
congratulate appropriately. But it's not my place to
Of course.
pry into somebody. You don't know the struggles, you don't know anything. So just came from left field. You're not even a close relative. Because if somebody like maybe Chine asks me,
Even
He-
Chineye
he
will
won't-
not
no,
do
no,
that.
if Chine asks me,
No. Oh no,
we have a
You know,
relationship.
Yeah.
it's a place from Ken.
Not her.
Yeah.
not her. And there's a
Yeah,
way he would
and-
ask you,
yes.
like, how
Yeah.
far now? Is
And
everything
because
okay?
we've been through a lot, we understand each other. So if you ask me, I know where it's coming from.
Oh, Chineye, boo. She's a lot.
I've had a
It's your boo.
It's my fault.
She said boo.
I tell your boo.
The same Chine, every time I'm on the phone with her, this up. We'll go to Chine and say, "Oh, Chine, my boo, how are you?" That is
He's
your.
my
We'll
boo.
now say, "Oh, my dear, my darling Agbeme," and she'll answer
He's
me.
my darling. Hi, Chineye.
I've never called Chine like, "You, my dear," but you betrayed me with him. But if Chine does it, I'm like,
Yeah.
I know where it's coming from, and
Yeah.
it's fine. But
So
not
I
pretending
guess
things that
this story
like Betty
begs a bigger question about how extended family members, or even in some cases nuclear family members of your
yeah.
spouse sort of interfere in your marriage. And I don't know what it was like for you guys.
I
but for
had
us,
a
there was a lot of
similar
that.
experience. Well, for us, we had difficulties, getting a child. We waited 3 years before we had our kids, and
Wow.
in the space of 3 years, we went through a lot, and I had terrible experiences. I'll just highlight one, just because it's a bit similar to what you just shared. Has to do with a relative. That's why.
Is this from our side?
Yes.
Of course.
That,
It's
right?
always your side,
Yeah.
It's always your side.
Wait. Let's not forget.
course.
You're not very close to your side of the family.
Nobody came to him to attack you from your own side of the family, right?
No.
Did anybody from her side ever say anything to you?
I don't even know her family.
Doctor,
You don't know
see
my family members?
Extended family.
No, for my nuclear family, they could have even started from
Exactly.
my nuclear family.
Yeah, but my nuclear family would never do anything like that.
Well, we know that. But anyway, the whole mark is from your side. Anyway, so there was this event in the village, a very big event. You know how Anambra people like to do their thing. Anyway, she called. I was just, walking around with my mother-in-law, helping to share food, and and she calls me out of the blue. And I was sort of excited to see her, because I was like, okay, at least I know
You know
her.
her.
So I walked up to her happily, and she started screaming, "Hey, come! I want to talk to you." Okay, when I noticed this tone, I was like, okay, what's going on here? And she was in this canopy with women in the same uniform, this elegantly dressed. I don't know, is it Tanugama? I don't know. Aunties from.
Camera, tell me what this.
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you after. Aunties from the US, from the, you can tell when you look at them. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? Why is she shouting at me like this? So I said hello to them, and they just, when they answer like this with their nose. I was like, okay. So I said, oh, auntie, how are you? She said, wait, what is it? Why haven't you given us a grandchild till now? This is how many years? 3 years. Why see, is it that you don't know how to sleep with your husband? If you don't know,
Lie.
her words exactly.
What the fuck?
Lie.
Her words exactly.
Lie.
She said, if you don't know how to sleep with your husband, call me this evening. I will tell you how to sleep with your husband so you can get pregnant. I froze. I have heard stories about.
I'm so embarrassed for her and her whole
You
family
see?
and anybody that knows her.
I've heard stories about these womb watchers, but I never expected it to happen to me. One, and I never even expected I would hear this angle. Somebody telling you don't know how to sleep with your husband. Call me.
They were not
We're married now.
And she was shouting. You could see the embarrassment on the other ladies. They felt so embarrassed for me. So
But they didn't stand up for you.
Exactly.
They didn't.
What's sorry?
Somebody should have called her out right there and
Women
there.
supporting women, right?
No, No, women supporting women should not even, because for you to even say that about
Humanity.
Let's not interrupt.
you're supporting another
Let's not
woman.
interrupt our train of thought.
So, do you know, when it happened, you know, this happening in split seconds. I didn't know how to react. I don't cry in public. I don't cry in public. But this one, I froze. I looked at her, tears rolling down my eyes. I couldn't move. When I got myself, I just went to the canopy. And now, let me highlight it. That's I say it's somewhat similar to the experience you shared earlier. I had gone through 2 miscarriages. I had just gone through the second miscarriage when she said this. So,
Was it not 3? There was a third one.
Thank you.
There was a third
3
one.
miscarriages.
Where are you?
She didn't tell me.
No, I didn't tell him why. You know, we're at this function. He was helping to organize some things. We're not at the same place. He was inside the house trying to. So I was like, I didn't want to destroy his flow. I just said, you know what? I went to my own canopy, sat down there, cried, got myself together. When we got home, I told him this.
It was when we were
He
home.
said, why didn't you tell me there and then? I would have put that woman in her place. I said, okay.
And it's always women for some reason.
It's always women. It's always women.
It's not always women.
They ain't feminists, bro.
Really?
Oh, it's not always
It's
women.
not always women. It's not always women. It's
But
not
we
always
can't talk
women.
about that one.
We can't.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you
yeah.
for reminding me.
It's not always women.
I need to know
Yeah.
this woman. Are we close to her?
Off camera.
Are we close to her?
Yes,
Don't
very
give me some
close.
hints. We're
Yeah,
close to her.
Yeah, you're close.
So is she like a direct?
No.
She's an extended family. Somebody.
Yeah.
It's share your family member. Anything like that.
Yeah.
We'll talk later.
So,
Sorry,
you know,
sorry.
people
Last
like
thing.
watching your family member.
No. I'll say this last thing. After that, did you do anything to do, man? You have to do something. We'll talk up.
After 4
No, it's
years.
water under the bridge
Yes.
now.
No, it's not water under the bridge. No.
Statute of limitations. has
We
come.
read this bed self code. We need to clear that woman's doubts. Even if it's to call that.
Don't worry.
No,
Eh?
it's
And
okay.
No.
This was not the purpose of this discussion.
Yeah.
You
Well,
must,
sharing.
you must tell me that woman, no.
I will.
It's not about planning revenge.
I will.
It's
So-
about the thing is,
You're right. It's not just women.
It's not just
I've
women.
had other
Yeah.
experiences, but
when you are in a marriage,
Mhm.
sometimes there's familial interruption or nudging or I don't know, interference. That's the word. There's familial interference in your marital business. Sometimes it's women, sometimes it's men.
You're right.
At the end of the day, the thing is, how do you sort of protect against those kind of things? How do you sort of, because this is really traumatic
It is.
when it happens.
It is.
It can feel very, it can
And you can
actually
imagine
break
after 3
a person.
miscarriages, I wasn't even sure, will we ever have children of our
Thank you.
own? So it wasn't a nice experience. at all.
Exactly. I literally was coming off a miscarriage when your auntie came and told me, Madam, it's been a year. Why are we not seeing? So it does break you, and there's a lot of pressure.
After just 1
I
year.
know the other thing is sometimes, even as women, we don't even know whether we want children. They just expect that we should want children. And if you don't have it, it's almost like, hey, are you married? How dare you? I didn't actually take the time to decide that this is something I wanted. It was just automatically thrust upon me that you are married now. The expectation was glaring.
Exactly.
You must produce.
And it never ends. You might have 1 or 2 or 3 children.
Like you have 2 boys
and
and
you
you
expect-
can't keep hearing. What about the girl? What about the girl?
That's how I wanted 5 children.
What? Really?
I thought I wanted 5
You
children.
want
No,
5?
before we got married, even before we said I did, I really wanted 5.
Wow.
Because I look like
I
a
told him I
family
wanted
that,
to.
you know,
Yeah.
how we used to play famous 5.
I can never forget
stuff.
that conversation. We were on a
You know,
flight.
so I wanted a big family.
I think we went to Dubai or something. I don't know, we're flying to Lagos, Sha. And we're talking about the future. Like, and then he said, he's always wanted 5 children because me and my siblings, we played together as 5 children. We loved each other. I said, yeah.
That's how I started.
I know. And it was just such a ridiculous thing for me to hear that a guy your age was wanting 5 kids.
What's
And I
wrong
was
with
like,
that?
a guy in this day and age wants 5 children.
Yeah.
There's really nothing
So
wrong
that
with
for
that.
me was rare because I'm like, who wants 5 children in this day and age, in this economy, in this life?
People. Lots of
I
people.
don't know anybody. Oh. No, it's really clear at that point that I'm not having more than 2 children. Oh. So if you are going to have other children, maybe you have it outside of wedlock. But
I now bought a book on Amazon. how to give your wife quadruplets.
After we had our first child, I remember I pranked Chimeze that I was pregnant with a second. Like after I had our first child, and it was just in lot. Like the experience on another podcast, I will share another episode. The experience of giving birth to the two was really traumatic, as it was bad. And then after we had our first child, I think it was a couple of maybe 6 months later, and I'm pranked Chimeze. I sent him the picture
Fellow 6 months after.
of my I was going to my
when you were
phone.
still recovering.
I saw my pregnancy test, my positive pregnancy test for when I found out I was pregnant with Nato. I saw the picture. So I sent it to him. I think he was in the office. He come and said, what's happening? What's happening? I was like, I'm pregnant. He said, how? How are you pregnant?
What do you mean how?
How did I get pregnant? You know the nasty we did the other night? Yeah, got pregnant, man. This guy broke down his head.
He's a lie.
Not
That's
like
not what happened.
absolute panic.
Wait, but did you cry?
I cried.
He cried because he
No,
didn't want
I
a
was
baby.
downstairs. She sent me the picture.
Yeah.
And I ran
Okay,
upstairs.
then you
Wait,
ran upstairs.
you cried in happiness, in joy.
I was
No!
in fear and it's
He
like
was
fear and
I'm
trembling.
from Afghanistan. And then your commander sir calls you and says you're going to Iraq. Like I had PTSD from NATO.
He cried, though.
It was tough. I told you about that period.
Yeah,
It was really
yeah,
tough from
yeah,
child's birth to even the
Yeah.
post delivery, everything. And then this wicked fellow. Now I said, I think I was playing game.
You're up.
And now the message came in the middle of halftime. And I saw the message. And I saw you're pregnant. What? Flung the pad. She was in the bathroom. And I said the bathroom. What did you say? She said I'm pregnant. And she was looking very somehow. I mean, I know that she said, I know I've said that she couldn't have caught it in Nollywood.
I am not an actress.
It
It was like,
I said, how are we pregnant? She said, what do you mean are we pregnant?
you know that thing we did?
The memories of the experience that we had.
Came flooding.
I sat down and started crying. The pranker.
Did you?
Now started crying.
But did you feel remorseful when you saw him cry?
Yeah, the crying was unexpected. I didn't expect him to cry.
Almost.
So I was like, okay, I'm so sorry. I just started
The
crying.
pranker now started crying too.
I just said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was a joke. It was a joke. Because I didn't expect it to be so sad. I was
You're
like,
lucky
it
you had-
made me sad.
It wasn't the fear of having a child. It was just the fear of
Trump.
going through that same experience again.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what to expect.
You have to process it first.
Yeah, so well done.
But a year later,
beautiful memory.
we were actually pregnant with the second baby.
But you are ready.
At that
That's the
point,
important
it
thing.
was a bit more
And I had
acceptable.
another episode then
Yeah.
because I was really hoping for a girl. I
Oh.
was really hoping for a girl. So when we went to the hospital, I said, God, please.
When they do the ultrasound to check the
God, please. I went to the hospital. Wait.
Yeah.
I sat down beside her. The guy, they were doing committee.
Yeah.
The guy now said, the doctor now said,
Do you want to know the sex? And tell us. We don't want to
Give
do
me the
gender.
sex, the girl.
Don't want to do gender review.
Penny's there.
The same thing that happened to us.
But I predicted
Like,
and I predicted
I was
right.
obviously sad. What was wrong?
Me too.
He wanted a girl. My mother had prayed and said God showed her there's a girl. Imagine my mother said that, I said it's the opposite. Because my mother is opposite land. Whatever she says, it's the opposite that will happen. And then
God told her it's a girl.
He said, God told her that it's a girl. I said, it's a lie. It's a boy. That was how I knew it was a boy. Because my mother said it's a girl. So I told you when they were going, this baby is a boy. He said, no, Baba B said it's a girl. I said, I told her, Baba B. Our promise is always the opposite.
I pictured myself sitting down and my daughter would be painting my face.
She
Oh.
wasn't really wanted a girl. Really. But even if the very first time, remember what I told you? The very first time, actually, I told Tracy I was pregnant with Dato. He said, oh, we're going to have a baby girl.
Oh.
And he said, we're going to name her Adora. Do you remember? He said, we're going to have a baby girl and we're going to name her in America. When I found out, we're in the US, and I found out I was pregnant. I'm like, oh, we're going to have a first girl and we're going to name her Adora.
You know,
That was
it means
what he said.
we're on the same wavelength because right from
when we're dating.
before we started dating.
No, for me, when we were dating, you
Yes.
told me that before we met,
Before we even thought of getting
you
married.
had their English names in
Yes.
your head and the Igbo name.
But in my head, I was going to have 2 daughters, and that's all. I was going to have.
All right, so the regal.
Yeah, it's a,
Yeah. He told me
But I still-
Dora, Chloe,
and Claire.
and Claire. Yes.
But Loka came up and
And then we had 2 boys. But
yeah, well,
Amazing boys.
there you go.
I think at the end of the day, I always say everything will be all right in the end. If it's not all right, it's
not the end.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But how do you know everything will be all right?
It just will. That's what I believe, and that's what I choose to believe. I don't know, but I just choose to believe.
Well, I hear you on that.
Yeah.
And this is probably a topic for another thing. Because I've always been a happy-go-lucky kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a meticulous planner that you have a 10-year plan.
Like
plan.
me, I plan everything.
That you have graphs.
You can see why we're. You can see why we're
Your
brothers.
brothers. I plan to the
You have a 5-year plan.
No, you
Are you
have,
sure?
you have a goal that you're aspiring
Yes.
to, but you are convinced that
And you plan how to get there. You don't just have a
But
goal and
you don't
faff around for 5 years
Yes.
and expect. Sorry?
What I'm trying to say to you is that
Yes.
for some reason, and I think I discovered it when I was investing, I've enjoyed a grace that I didn't deserve.
Okay.
So
Well,
what
like
you said
you think
about
you didn't.
what you said,
Nobody deserves
what
grace.
you said
Grace
about
is
what you said
random.
about
In my
it to be all right in the end has kind of been my story, up to this point, and I hope that streak continues. So even if you plan everything, but in the back of your mind, because you know what you've gone through and what you have seen manifest in your life, you just know that somehow everything's going to be all right.
But you're prepared for the worst as well. See, that's the thing about it. About believing that everything's going to be all right. You don't have that much strength to deal with it if it's not. I anticipate the worst. I'm just like, you know what? This thing might not work out. This thing.
Like when you go and visit your uncle, and you're expecting that he'll give you 10,000 naira.
Oh, for example.
But when they give you 1,000 naira, you're deflated. But if you go there expecting
nothing,
uncle is still devil, you won't give anything. Even if it's 500 naira.
That's a good example, actually. I mean, most of the examples, almost every example I wrote.
Perfect example. It is a perfect.
It's actually a good example because I've been there. I can relate.
Because that is different from.
We have a lot of
No.
We have some incredible uncles too.
Saying that.
Okay, you can't.
I can name the incredible ones at least.
I can name one.
Okay, please let's not walk through your Congo family. But what I wanted to say is that when you're saying everything will be all right in the end, what you're doing is not just, at least for me, it's not just mindless hope. I honestly believe that you are the controller of your own destiny in a lot of cases. While you need God's favor. But once God has given you breath, good health, and he has put you in a space of privilege, meaning that you were born into a family that has sent you to school, that has given you clothes on your back, that has fed you, that has, they've given you they've given you the tools you need to succeed. Everything else is in your hands. Oh. There's nothing else. Everything else is absolutely in your hands. That's why I always say everything will be all right in the end. Because for me, as long as God gives me breath, because I was fortunate enough to be born in a family that was able to take care of me and give me the tools I need to succeed, everything will be all right in the end. There's nothing that cannot be all right. And when I say, this is my 5-year plan, 10-year plan, it's not just a statement. There's clear steps that this is what I need to do to get there. I'm not just saying it to be flippant.
Yeah.
I'm saying it because I know that this goal, if I don't reach it, is on me. I'm fully accountable.
Help you measure. Are you actually getting towards that goal or not?
I have a question. Do you really believe that there are people who are naturally unlucky?
No, I don't believe that anything. There's no such thing as luck.
I don't think they're naturally unlucky, but there are people who bad things just happen to them.
Bad
Bad thing
things
happens to
happen
everybody.
to
Yeah, but
everybody.
some people
But
more
there's
bad things.
bad
Yeah,
things happening to them.
yeah.
Which is like bad
Like
luck.
what? Like their parents died.
Somebody
Parents can die.
marriage crashed.
Fail from school. They start from a job.
Marriage crash.
They have
Child has a
accidents.
chronic illness.
Yeah.
They end up with cancer.
There are people like
There are people
that.
who have that
Absolutely.
situation.
Which is why I said, if God gives you good health, that thing about cancer, health, God gives you breath and health. You have grown up in safety, and because again, a child is very dependent on his parents. Your job as a parent is to protect your child, keep them safe from every type of trauma.
Yeah.
Get them to adulthood. After you've gotten to adulthood and your parents have equipped you with the tools you need, everything else is on you. At that point, I'm like,
You're talking mostly about career, aren't you?
no, I'm not talking mostly about career. I'm talking everything else. You're shaping your life to be
Your
happy.
health. Your health is not. It's
Your
only
health is
partially
of
in your
God.
hands.
Your health is 100%.
And God can
100%
decide.
of God.
You know what? I'm gonna give you cancer. I'm
That's
sorry.
what I'm saying. That's
I'm
what
sorry.
saying.
Landlord.
That in that case,
smoked maybe like a packet of cigarettes a day.
Eh,
It was like 70-something, 80.
and that's fine.
But I
God
put that
never gave him cancer.
Yeah. They have lung cancer.
And I said, if God gives you health.
So that's what you said.
Well,
You said health is in good
Yes.
hands.
that's
Yeah, I'm saying that a lot of things are not in your control. Health is just one
Health
of
is
them.
not like what else? I agree, health is not in your control. Health is in your control to a certain extent, like eat healthy, exercise.
Even your career to an extent
Make-
is not under your control.
Your career is in your control.
Not completely.
How?
Wow.
Okay, so let us talk about Nigerian youth, for example. A lot of them who are well educated, they've ticked all the boxes, they've worked hard, they've gotten their qualifications, they're jobless. They're trying entrepreneurship, the system is making things difficult for them. They're barely surviving. Some of them are still living on their parents, at 25, 30 and older. Would you say that they are in control of their destiny
Yes.
up to that point?
Yes.
I mean,
They
look
are in
at
control of
the
their destiny.
volatility of Nigeria.
I was
That's
that same Nigerian.
Yeah, but for every Igbe, there are a 100,000.
100.1%.
Yes.
Yes,
See,
You're one of the very few who made it out.
And again, there are many, and I think my context needs to really be understood here. You have been given the tools you need to succeed. Meaning you have been schooled,
Yes.
you have gone to school,
Yes.
you have learned, you've been raised properly,
Yes.
you have good manners, like you have not, like you were not sexually abused, traumatized,
Yes.
like you didn't go, you've gone through your childhood safely and you've come out of the other end. So I'm not saying anybody that is carrying generational
No problem.
trauma. Okay. And you have gone into the world and make it. At that point, I believe that you shape your destiny.
No, so what about the example I just gave? The hundreds of thousands of Nigerian youth who have done everything right.
Yeah. There are external influences that impact you, whether you like it or not.
And these are intelligent, hardworking.
So you're assuming
people.
that these hundreds of thousands of Nigerian youths, they've not made it because what? Because they don't have money or because
No, they don't have connections. They don't have impact. Yeah.
How are we measuring their success or lack of success?
If you are
because I don't have a job, but I'm happy.
So how do you eat on a day-to-day basis?
Maybe as somebody is feeding me, maybe my parents are still feeding
You can't
me.
be happy enough.
Why would you be happy?
Because really,
Because I
think so.
the time I didn't have a job for over 6 months, and I was living off my parents as an adult, as a doctor, it was one of the most depressing periods of my life. And Ugo went through that as well. Ugo ticked all the boxes. Ugo had a master's degree. He had 2 master's degrees. Very hardworking, very intelligent, everything. And yet he was at home without not working for an extended period of time.
See, this topic is extremely nuanced. There's a lot I want to say. But I also want to be sensitive of certain things that you're talking about now. The truth is, a lot of the time, the only thing that is holding you back is your mind.
I totally
That sounds like victim blaming.
It's not victim blaming.
It is. A lot of people are victims of their environment, of their situation, even though they themselves are not. They might be slightly culpable, but other people who are worse off than them just because they're in a better situation. Maybe they have better networking opportunities based on their the families they come from and so on. They hit the stratosphere, while these other ones are struggling.
And multiple things can impact your career in Nigeria. It could be a stupid government policy. We know the government flip-flops.
Yes.
It could be that you're unfortunate to have, maybe you're doing well in the company, you have great prospects, but for some reason, maybe you get a new boss who's either an ethnic or religious bigot, doesn't like you, throws you out. There are multiple things. You can be going to work one day, police for some reason will carry you, arrest you, put you in prison, exchange for another prisoner.
Yes.
You're in prison, now your life ends that way. So there are multiple
call you a Yahoo boy.
You, even if your parents raised you to be the upstanding, you have the first class, everything, you work in church, you're great, you have great humor, you're 6'5".
What has that got to do?
You have muscles, everything. You're a perfect human being. But the external influences, the jungle that is Nigeria,
hits
you and end you. So,
or you're a lady and you work in a company and you're trying to climb up the corporate ladder, and one or two of your bosses, want something that you are not you cannot give because of your principles. And not only do they destroy your career in the company, they blacklist you because they have that power. They just talk to all their friends about you, and that's the end. Your doors are shut against you. Are you saying that it's in your control? Or no, maybe it is in your control, but you should have just given them what they wanted.
Sorry, wait. I shall tell you the truth now. We're in trouble. I think you should end the podcast here.
No. Let me just say what I want to say. Then we can end it.
Inem will defend me.
Who would not defend me?
Sorry.
I'm not saying anything negative.
Let me move my chair to
I'm not. So you guys have a point. So I'm just playing my. What have you turned me into?
After 8 years, he knows.
I know. I just want to say that. See, okay.
It's okay.
If you're hold on, no. If you're saying this happened, I think what I really stand by what I said, that a lot of the time what's holding you back is your mind, because you've told yourself that I've spent 6 years as a doctor. I need to find a job as a doctor. So if I don't find a job as a doctor, I haven't fulfilled I'm not fulfilled in myself.
No.
Or I've done this, I've done that, so I need to do this. See, my own definition of what I mean is that at the end of the day, if you have decided that you want to deliver something in your life, the only person that can stop you from delivering that thing is yourself. That's what I honestly
yourself and the Nigerian government.
No, it has nothing to do with the Nigerian government. The only person is yourself. You can absolutely get to where you want to be if you are really, really, you're clear on the vision.
I want to be
in this time, day and time where you have, knowledge is literally at your fingertips. It's there. You can access it.
I want to be a superstar athlete. I want to play the NBA.
This should be very quick.
Nothing can stop me. No, that is you're limiting me.
You're shaming him.
You're limiting me. I can do whatever I set my mind to.
Sorry. This should be very quick. This should be very quick. You might
be looking at the oldest player ever was.
No, I won't.
That's your dream.
No, it won't happen. No matter how positive-minded I am, I will never play in the NBA. We need to teach our children to be realistic, even though we push them to fulfill their.
So if you want to be realistic, you should have said, okay, I'm unemployed as a doctor, but maybe in the 6 months I'm unemployed, I can go and be driving bus or doing conductor or bricklayer
or labor
while I'm looking for a job as a doctor.
But sorry.
Yeah, I can go and sweep the street.
I want to say something. What you just said now goes against the widely accepted saying that no man is an island. Mm-hmm. So you can
never said a man is an island.
No. Wait, let me.
Okay.
Can I land?
Please land.
I will do so. The saying that no man is an island. Now, what you're saying about how only your whatever you put your mind to,
you can achieve whatever you put your mind.
You are not factoring in external influences, which validates that statement that no man is an island. Because if you're not an island, island is an isolated piece of land that is its own ecosystem. but you are part of a wider system of moving parts that most of which you don't have any control over. You only have control over yourself.
Yeah.
But there are multiple things every single day you have no control over. And those things can combine to either push you up or suppress you. So I don't completely agree with your point.
So I didn't say that. There's nothing that can stop you. Whatever I put your mind to, you can achieve. I didn't say that you don't need help to achieve it. I didn't say you can achieve it solo. I said put your mind to it and achieve it. You might need to
do everything possible. Everything
you might need to
do
lean
to
on
achieve that goal.
family members, friends, girlfriend, boyfriend, sister, brother. You might need to lean on people to get there, but you can get there. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Even doc, I know in the UK now, a top doctor, pediatric plastic surgeon.
BPL.
Did you not set your mind to it? Did you sit there in Nigeria and say, oh, I'm in Nigeria, did you not set your mind to come here with your family and be a pediatric surgeon, a respected doctor in this country?
No, but the fact that somebody succeeds doesn't invalidate the point that a lot of people who do all the right things do
I want to be
the reason you're not succeeding is their mindset.
Even if I put my mind to it from now to rapture, I can't achieve it.
Because you told yourself you can't achieve it. So you already failed.
Number one, I'm not American.
Yeah.
Number two, I don't have visa.
Yeah.
Number three, I'm
So first of all, we are talking about setting realistic goals.
Yeah.
Not goals that
Exactly.
It starts from being realistic.
I totally agree. That I said that's why I'm like, if you want to put your mind into something that is not realistic, then that's your problem.
Okay, wait.
Don't say that you want to be if you say you want to be Beyonce self, that's your own business.
When you say you want to be a carpenter, you will start making plans
Or
to be
you're
a
a new
carpenter.
graduate, you want to be CEO of a multinational company.
You can be.
Yes, you can be.
Not immediately.
In a year.
now.
In a year. My
Not
target
That's
is
not realistic.
That's not
Yeah.
realistic.
so you can't
When
put
you put your mind
hold on.
to a goal.
Let's adjust what you said. You can achieve anything you set your mind to if it is realistic.
If it is smart, yes.
If
a
it's
smart
realistic.
goal.
If it's
Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound.
So it's the achievable
Smart.
part here.
Right? It's an acronym.
What we are talking about now is the achievable part.
I have a scenario.
I agree.
I don't know if it's let me just
If
say,
that's what you are
let me just
qualifying,
I want to
achievable,
be-
I agree.
I want to be.
Let's
I want to
agree.
be- I want to be PM of the UK in 30 years.
That's achievable.
That's achievable, Abi.
Yes.
It's smart, it's measurable, it's
But you
smart.
will likely fail.
Wait, I will likely fail. I will most definitely fail.
Most likely.
Because by the year 29, the people of the UK can come up with a law and say, if you're not born in the UK,
Yeah.
you can't be PM.
Yeah.
And so everything that works
and that's out of your
up to
control.
that point is in dust.
True.
Because of something that is outside my control completely.
True.
I say she's looking at me like this guy. This is an excellent point. But she can't say it.
I cannot agree that your point is an excellent point.
But
He's right. No, listen. He's right in the sense that even us that were here, they were like, oh, we're here for a reason.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. Their laws, immigration laws can change. Well, immigrants in the UK, immigration laws can change. They can say, oh, we don't want you in our country, go back to your country.
Yeah.
And the goal that we've set up, okay, we want to be naturalized citizens of the UK, can go under the bridge and under the border because it is out of our control. But you need to think about the why behind your goal. Why do you want to be PM? Why do you want to be?
You want to make
You-
positive change.
I don't make
Exactly. Think about the why.
Go to military formation
Because
and ride in battle tanks.
no, if you think about the why, no, that's not why. And let's be serious. Because if you think about the why,
I'm serious now.
you will find out that PM that you're searching is not the only route to get to your why.
You're
That
modifying.
is why you should think about
I
your why.
say you're modifying
Go by
your.
cheese conversation.
It's not you move by cheese. It's the fact.
I think it's a good
Think about the why.
good point.
Because I want to be CEO of a multinational. Why? Is it just to be CEO?
No, because
to make money.
yeah.
Thank you.
No, I want to have power.
There are many ways
I want to have
make money.
power to.
There are many
and
ways.
money.
There are many ways to have power.
You are
So
cheating
what
the
is the why?
You're moving the
This is
goalpost.
who moved my cheese.
No. You should be able to, you can get to your goal post through different routes. Shabi in football, there are different plays you can play to get the goal, right? But do you get the goal? You get the goal.
Speaking
So,
of which, wasn't that one of,
Adjust your gameplay to get the goal.
wasn't that
That's
one
all
of
I'm saying.
your
Analogy.
goals? No, one of his goals in the past, wasn't it? To be an international football player.
that he never worked towards.
I don't want towards it.
He
Okay.
never worked towards it.
So
But let us say you did. Do you think you'd have?
If I need to see this,
If he worked
he could have
towards
been.
it,
I might not have been in the Premiership. But maybe
there's nothing that would have stopped. If you wanted to play in the Premiership, you'd have played in Premiership. You were never serious about that.
Natural ability is a thing.
He can also learn. Learn that.
Yes,
is also a thing.
but see, it gets to a point where there's a ceiling where no matter how much you train, no matter how hard you work, you cannot get beyond.
That's why
that
he
ceiling.
didn't start early. He should have started early
I
if
didn't
that
start
was your goal. Because now you are too old. You know, 40 plus, you become a international.
Meanwhile,
It's not realistic.
I'm retiring officially from my high level career career next year. So
Okay.
most likely
I think it's a good
I'll
time.
communicate
It's
the
very
series
important.
of events.
On a delusion.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
stop at
yeah,
it.
What
because
I had a high level career career. I won NYC Cup. I got bronze in
Oh my
Nigerian Telecoms games. What was that? I think it was about 1-2 medals.
Until you are limited by injury, don't forget.
Yeah, I had injuries. It's not hard to be hard tackling defender.
I really don't know what to say except thank you guys so much for joining us for Brunch and Banter. Another amazing episode. And please tune in, like, follow, subscribe, share, support our content. Please, if you're enjoying it. And if you guys want us to share recipe videos, let us know. I'm not actually sure if you guys want to see that, but if you want, let us know. And see you next time. Bye.
That's a very rude way of ending this episode. And what?
Are we still filming?
Yes. What kind of cutting in shots after what can I say?
Well, you were never a high-level football player, and I think it's very, very
about football?
it's insulting to the actual high-level football player to call yourself as a high-level football player.
Very nice.